Hi, Shannon Grimm again with Shannon Grimm and Partners at Howard Hanna, joined today by Denise Martinez and by Michael Stanley, and not the band, just the man. And Lindsay is here with us, Lindsay Kirk. She is with First Ohio Title, and we are going to be discussing FinCEN.
Yes. So, I guess we'll start off with what is FinCEN, and it is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. They are a bureau of the U.S. Treasury and require reporting on certain residential real estate transactions to increase transparency and deter money laundering.
Sure.
Right.
We have found that where there is a will, there's a way. It doesn't matter what government agencies they develop.
Yeah. So they started this off in like New York and Miami and kind of like a test pilot, and then they decided let's take it nationwide, and they were going to do it in December of last year, and they decided, whoa, pump the brakes, it was a little too fast, and they made it effective as of March 1st. And then a federal judge said pump the brakes again last week and said you don't have that authority.
Yeah, because somebody, was it Texas?
Texas, yes.
Texas sued the government saying that it was government overreach.
Yes.
And the courts agreed.
Yeah. One so far. So the covered transactions for this are non-financed residential real estate purchases where the buyer is going into an entity, so either a LLC or a trust. And that can be 1 to 4 family homes, condominiums, co-ops, mixed properties that have a residential component. So like you have a commercial building, but there's also like one little tiny apartment in there that qualifies.
So you could buy a commercial building and still launder money,
basically,
but not with a resident.
Yeah, if it's residential, it falls under this. Yep. Certain vacant land where the buyers are going to use it to build a residential structure, and then those ones that are hard money loans or like private money transactions, because they're not already the hard money lenders. A lot of them are not regulated like regular banks are.
So if you purchase land, sorry to interrupt. I know you're going through.
No, you're good. You're good. Interrupt me a lot.
So
slow me down a little.
I've been kind of researching it myself, but there's still a bunch of questions I have. And land, you said if they're going to develop it for housing,
yes, then
that would fall under that. What if it was land being purchased to hold as an investment, or what if it was land being purchased to develop, say, apartments?
Well, apartments would be residential. So
it would fall into that.
Anything,
even though it doesn't fall into that.
Like if they're doing land and it's going to be a gas station, then it's not going to fall under it. But if you're going to do apartments or some type of residential building on there, then it's going to fall under it.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're educating people on how to launder their money.
Right.
You do that through commercial real estate.
Apparently at this time, yes.
It makes no sense that it's only residential real estate. That makes no sense whatsoever.
I think it's short-sighted. I think the talk is always about protecting residential real estate, that citizens should have an opportunity, people who move here should have an opportunity to purchase, and they don't want foreign entities and money laundering to be getting into that.
But you would think it would be more prevalent in the commercial side, and that would affect home ownership because of what's going on around the communities where the commercial...
While I agree with you, it doesn't get the headlines that residential does. So,
but I'm just saying,
people don't like businesses as much as they like their own house.
But there's businesses within my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you can buy those and launder money, and wouldn't that affect my residential property values?
It sure
yes, it would.
Yes, for sure.
So it came about because of the Corporate Transparency Act, which came out in 2021, U.S. federal requiring many companies to disclose their beneficial owners to Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN. It aims to combat the money laundering, terrorism financing, and other illicit activities by ending the anonymity of shell companies.
But didn't they also do away with that? Because at one point it was like, okay, you're going to have to declare who you are, who owns your business, because technically I own a business within a business, and I would have had to have declared who I was. And then it became a thing where I didn't have to do that anymore.
As far as I know, it's still active. Its effective date became January 1st of 2024.
Okay.
That's the information I have right here in front of me.
Or maybe I did it and forgot. Go figure.
Yeah. Let's see. Beginning in 2024, corporations, limited liability companies, and similar entities formed or registered in the U.S. must submit a beneficial ownership information report to FinCEN.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You probably had somebody do it for you and just forgot.
Who knows? Or I did it and just forgot.
That sounds on par.
Yeah, basically.
So there are exceptions: easements, transfers resulting from death, divorce-related transfers, bankruptcy-related transfers, 1031 exchanges, and certain transfers with no consideration.
Like if you're taking it out of your dead spouse's name,
right?
Put it just in yours. There's
and I think
money changing hands. So.
I don't know how it really works with the LLCs. I don't think they get this exception, but like your trust, like if you're putting it into your trust and it, not when you're purchasing, but like transferring later on into your trust, and you're the sole beneficiary or the trustee, the grantor, the type things like that, you can do that without having to report it.
Okay.
So it's like kind of one of those things. If you have a buyer who's kind of trying to do a quick thing and they don't want to report it, have them close it in their individual name and then transfer it to their trust.
Yeah, that's what we were starting to tell people anyways, because we knew that was going to be a little bit harder going forward. So what is the expected time delay? Because, I mean, I've had someone who expected to be able to close a cash deal in 4 days.
It's possible, but it really relies a little bit more so on your client's participation. So we had one where we were closing within 5 business. So the company we use is FRS, or FinCEN Reporting Services, and they are a Stewart title company.
Okay.
And with them, if anything is entered within a 5 business day turnaround, it's considered a rush, and they will charge an extra fee for that. But as long as everybody engages when they're supposed to and fills out the information, you can almost do it within a day or 2.
Okay.
So it all depends on your participation on both sides. Because I had another one, I initiated it with FRS on the 6th, and come the week of the 20th for their closing, the buyer still had not done anything. And I'm beating up the agent like, you need to get onto your buyer. Like, they need to go in and do this. Of course, there was other things that happened with that deal.
Of course.
Yeah. So, a big thing with us is when we go to look up a property and put it into our system and do a search, we try to look it up by the seller's name. And the reason we do that is because sometimes there's additional parcels that they forget to tell us about. But if you send over a contract and it's got their new name and we didn't know what their maiden name is,
can't find it.
Right. So on this deal, it had started off as a prelim. We weren't given any names, just here's an address, search it. So when we did that and we put it in there under how she was entitled, turns out we found out after we initiated with FRS that, she's no longer that name, she's now this name.
So what I tend to do when I do a preliminary search or whatever.
When you do it.
Yes, she said do-do.
I said do-do. That's the easiest way to say that. But anyhow, when I do that, I usually will say, like, their first maiden name because it was on the auditor, and that their new married name.
Yeah.
So I usually put all 3.
Yeah, providing us with the AKAs or the NKAs that FKAs that you know of ahead of time.
What's an FKA?
Formerly known as.
Oh, okay. I'm not good with acronyms.
I know your head went to, that's probably a bad one.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Yeah. Providing that.
I know you have stressful days. You just making up stuff now?
Sometimes. Just providing that information up front helps. But the biggest issue we've always ran into is we get these rush cash deals over, and day of closing, they're like, by the way, they want to go in their trust, or by the way, they want to go into an LLC. And this happens
that stuff up front
all the time.
So like the way that I try to get my agents to do it is, okay, need the complete name that you want to close in.
Yes.
The legal name you want to close in.
Yes. It drives me crazy. If somebody's going to go in at title as Michael Stanley and they send the contract over as Mike Stanley. No. Give me their full legal name, how they're going into title, whether that be the entity or them as an individual. Give us that information. Be formal on these documents. Yeah. These are formal documents.
It's very important.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, and I like if someone already owns a home, then I will go and see how they took title for that one and assume that's how they want to take title of the next one.
Right, with their middle initials and stuff.
Right.
That's another thing we run into a lot is even when they're already entitled, they have that common name. Their name is John Smith. And we send it over.
Robert Smith, remember?
Yes.
So, yeah, that one was like...
They send it over to us, and we send it to our examiners, and they come back and they're like, can you get us a middle initial? Can you get us the last four of their social for bankruptcy reasons? Because we just pulled 7 John Smiths that had bankruptcies, and they all got different last fours of their social.
Are actually people named John Doe?
Question is, are you now that this has been kind of held off, that's what I'll call this period, a hold off period, are you still reporting even though it's not required?
So I was going to get to that.
Okay.
that is something I was going to finish explaining everything
I'm
here.
so sorry to bother you.
No, that's all right. And then I figured I would leap into that part of it.
Because my whole thing is this time frame, and it's obviously participation from the client, the buyer,
right,
is huge. And so while this is going on, if you have somebody that is purchasing in a trust or an LLC, it just seems like a great idea to hand them a sheet and say, this is what you are going to be required to do.
Yeah.
Why don't you gather your things now?
Right. Yeah. The short answer is from Stewart Title, our underwriter, stating it's not required. It is optional at this point, but it is recommended.
Okay.
So, do you have something that says, okay, if you're going to take title this way or this way, these are the additional things we need from you?
That's it.
Actually,
right there.
That is this page that I'm reading off of right here.
Oh.
So when we notice that FinCEN is going to be triggered, we send this out to the agents to let them know, hey, share this with your buyer and your seller. Let them know that FRS is going to be reaching out to them to gather this information.
Can you just send me a copy of that?
I can.
No?
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love to have a sheet
we'd
to be able
rather
to
have it so we can send it out electronically even.
Yep, absolutely. So, and that's what we do. We send it at the beginning of the transaction when we know it's going to be triggered. We go ahead and send this information over. It's just a quick little blurb that explains what it is and what it is that you're going to be required to report.
It's still something that we should be talking about up front anyway.
Yes.
So
for sure.
And they shouldn't be caught off guard by getting that from you.
Right.
And, some of these people that are doing this investing into residential real estate, they're going to get used to this real quick. It won't even be a thing. They'll have everything. They'll just be like, bam, bam.
Yeah.
But it's the people who are buying in a trust. That's the ones that I feel like are going to be a little harder because this is yet something else that is different than 30 years ago when they bought last.
Right. And a lot of times with these trusts, the reason they have them is for estate planning. It's, a lot of them, it's not because they're trying to launder money and stuff like that. They do it because of estate planning.
Right.
So what the agents need to know is to be aware of the new rule and identify the entity or trust the buyers, those buyers early, identify them early on, and advise the clients on what additional information they're going to need to compile, which we're about to go over. But what they also need to know is provide us with the correct information up front. So we talked about the seller on that one. Well, let me tell you about the buyer on that one. The buyer on that one, first it came over, it was an individual who had signed the contract. And so that's how we started off. Then we get the addendum where, hey, this is now going to go into an LLC. That same individual is who has signed this addendum. So I put all the information in. A week or two goes by. Haven't heard anything. So I start nudging the agents. Hey, you need to get in here and do this. And eventually the buyer's agent comes back and says, well, that's not the member of the LLC.
Well, then why'd they go into contract?
I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know that? You have to tell me if, okay, this is who signed this contract.
Lindsay, I'm really disappointed that your mind reading skills have not sharpened.
They haven't. I keep asking for that magic wand.
Yes.
And I keep getting denied.
Tom's on a budget.
I know. He says it doesn't exist. I think he's lying. But yeah, so, and then it's like, well, she's asking me, we're 2 days from closing. Well, what email did you provide them? the same email you provided me. It's the only one I have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's getting your client's information up front into the title company is huge. You know, make sure we have your client's phone numbers and emails now. Like, we need both.
Okay.
Get that, you know, for your buyers and your sellers, get that over to us because we're going to have to enter that into there. We're also doing a new thing. This is kind of going away from FinCEN for a minute. We are doing a new thing with our company where we're trying to identify, like, do a better job of making sure who's signing these documents are who they say they are. There's been a lot of things coming up with especially vacant property that has no liens against them, where somebody is...
I get a call saying I want to list this property, and it's like,
Right.
well, wait, you just bought it 3 days ago. Why are
Right.
you selling it now? And they're like, what? And then they hang up on me.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to commit a scam.
Yeah, so we're using Closing Lock to send out a verification to buyers and sellers. More so sellers right now, but we're leaning towards buyers as well. That, you know, we send it's going to be like an email link and then a 2-step verification with their phone. But they're going
nice.
they're going to upload a copy of their ID and do a face recognition with it, just to kind of confirm that that person is the name that they're saying that they are.
So, speaking of the fact that I like us to tell our folks ahead of time,
Yes.
can that be something that you shoot me an email that says this is the new process?
Yep.
Because we tell them to be careful when they click a link and stuff because
Right.
we don't want them to put their personal information out. But as long as they know who it's coming from and to look for it, then they know they can trust that link.
Correct. And we'll warn them that they're going to get their
Right.
face scanned because
Some people aren't prepared.
will lose
Yeah.
that.
You know,
Right.
Ruth Rhodes,
I wouldn't be prepared.
Ruth Rhodes in my office is doing a lot of this for our team over in Arlington. So I'll send you exactly what she sends out to the
Perfect.
agents at the beginning.
Perfect.
Because
Perfect.
I know,
With a copy of that.
with a copy of this. So it'll be
Perfect.
let you know about FinCEN, let you know about Closing Lock. Closing Lock is also what we're using to send out our wiring instructions to buyers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll let my clients know that your face has already been scanned 3 million times by your phone anyway. So
Right.
you're fine.
I mean, the
Pretty
phone
much.
listens to us and everything else.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, sweetie, I think we need to buy this. 5 seconds later, add on my phone for that. Oh.
Listen, I
We're
thought
not-
about it,
yeah.
and it's
I
now an
know.
hour.
That's the one I don't
That's-
get.
That freaks me out.
That's the
I
one I
cannot
don't
do that,
get.
But I can't mind read yet.
Right, right. Like, and that's what I don't get. It's like, I've never breathed a word of this out loud, and here it is.
Yeah. So the buyer information required by FinCEN is going to be the type of entity, the legal name, and the business address and tax ID number. And then also trustees or owners with more than 25% interest, personal information, and the big thing is source of funds.
Oh.
So they're going to have to upload what banking institution this is coming from,
Or
the
a photo
account
of the
number.
suitcase with it in it, like we've had before.
Yeah, that wasn't money laundering. Here's
I
my
mean-
proof of funds.
I have done a deal like that outside of title for an ex-boyfriend. He paid literal cash to.
Oh,
he was
dear.
buying the building off of the guy he'd been renting it from, and he was a save the money in the safe type of person. And he sat there, and we all counted out the cash.
Must have been a wild day there.
And then this guy took it in a suitcase back to Florida with him.
But I wonder what the TSA thought.
I think he was driving.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah, I don't think they flew. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is like, because once that money hits our account, we have to verify that it came from the account that they told FinCEN it was coming from. So that's where they want to source your funds just like the lender sources your
Right.
funds. A little bit less intrusive though, because the lender is getting copies of your bank statements for the past 12
3
months,
times.
you know, 3 times. Yeah. They just want the account number. They want to know where it's coming from. So like if it's coming from another title company, you've got to put that title company's information in there. Which you'd have to get from that title company, obviously, but it's going to be, you know, their wiring instructions are going to be the exact same information that they need from that. For sellers, we need their name, address, their tax ID numbers as well, and if the seller is an entity or trust, their legal name, the entity type, and the trustee's information. Now, when it comes to filing it, you guys are off the hook. The buyers are off the hook. we have to do that. So it's going to be your title companies, your escrow agents, a settlement agent, a closing attorney, and others. But real estate agents and buyers do not file the report. That is all on us.
Sweet.
And like I was telling you about FRS, so we've been told that their pricing is comparable. They charge $199 for the filing fee. Like I said, if when we enter it in the system, we're within 5 business days, it's going to be an additional $100.
So we would also need to know how much it's going to cost and how much the rush fee is.
Right. Yeah. So $199 right now, $100. And then they have an option for if they don't want to do it online and they want papers, it's $75. I don't know if that's an addition to the $199 or not.
I would assume addition too.
That's kind of what I think.
Because they still
too.
have to file it, so that's just one more step. So that's one more charge.
Right. So you're getting up to close to $375, $400 if you try to do a rush and you want paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
and it's not going to be very rushed if you decide you want to go the paper route.
Correct.
Right.
It's gonna be a little slower.
Yeah. So, and we haven't had anybody want to do that option yet. So. The bottom line is the rule does not change how homes are sold. It just adds a federal reporting requirement for certain transactions. Now, on to that judge in Texas. Basically, he's put a stop to it. He was like, you don't have the authority to require this. Mm-hmm. So he stopped it. We're kind of in an unknown territory with this right now. What Stewart Title has come back to us and said, like I said earlier, is we prefer that you keep doing the reporting and you can continue to use FRS and they're not going to charge you right now. So they will collect this information and not charge it at this time.
Okay.
Or we can collect it on our end and hold it in the file as well, especially if we have one that's a little bit more of a rush and it's just quicker, like, hey, let's get this out of the way. We can hold it, but it's completely optional. So I think with us, it's probably going to be a case-to-case situation and depend on how mean the other agent is, how demanding the other agent is to twist our arm to, let's get through this real fast. Because right now, I mean, it's not mandated. We don't think there's going to be any retroactive comeback like, okay, while this was on pause, you need to go back and do all this reporting.
I mean, it's not everybody's fault that it hit pause. So
no.
That's their problem.
No. And, I mean, there's us on this side that's really hoping that pause either kind of stays or, maybe relaxes somewhat. It feels slightly intrusive.
Just a little.
Yeah. But
especially
we're not used to it.
Yeah,
No.
a lot of people buying cash are more private too.
Yes.
And they don't understand why they even have to have it in a bank.
A lot of them getting a loan don't understand it. I
Correct.
mean, we have.
That they have to know everything about you, right?
Right. There's a lot of them.
They're like, why do I have to give them every page of my bank statement? Because people hide things.
Because they're giving you $500,000.
Why can't I use the money out of my mattress? I don't understand.
They want to make sure it's legit.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So Lindsay's actually a processor for First Ohio Title. So most people will never actually see Lindsay. Lindsay's the one who does all the work behind the scenes.
I'm more of the front end processor. Yes. That's what Tom told me last week. Is I'm very unique in the way that I will come out in the public and see people and
right,
and
but they don't always do that. So people don't always get to see you, but you're the one who handles all of our files.
Yes,
and you're the one who has to do all the research and get all that stuff together. But if we're in a jam, she will make an appearance.
Yes.
So. But, so most of the time people see closers and they think that closer is the one who's done all the research and done all that stuff. No, and they don't understand the closer is just a notary.
Yeah, the closer is a notary.
They show up with their stamp.
We had a lender ask Kylie a question one time. And, Kylie is the Wizard of Oz. She is the wizard behind the curtain. She always has been. And he didn't like her answer and went to John, the closer. And he had to come back to Kylie and say, what's the answer to this? Because he doesn't know. And Kylie's like, I've already told that specific lender the answer to that question.
I like answer shoppers.
Yeah.
I like people who want to keep asking the same question until they get it, and enough people answering the way they want it.
Right.
Because I feel that that's totally worth my time.
And he just kept getting the same answer no matter where he went.
They have the same answer at the end.
Yeah, like there's agents that will call me from other brokerages, And I know they've already asked 10 other people, but they're trying to get me to agree with them. And it's like, yeah, you can't do that. Like, I don't understand.
No, that's not how that works.
No. No.
So with FinCEN, let's say that this was, it's been put on pause. Let's say it was active. If I purchased something as an individual and then immediately transferred it to an LLC, I know I didn't report when I purchased it, but isn't FinCEN going to want me to self-report?
It's my understanding that I think so. I think it depends on how the LLC is structured and who the members are. That's kind of been a really gray area that we haven't actually gotten a full answer on.
So if they wait to do that, then they're going to be the ones who have to make contact with
FinCEN, and they could be liable if
and
they
pay
do
fees
not.
and stuff directly too.
Yeah.
We have a new set of attorneys that we're working with that's doing our documents and stuff, and they are very willing and able to answer questions. Unlike the previous representation, who would basically recluse himself from anything. These ones are very open, so they know a lot about FinCEN. So if along the way you guys do have additional questions, I can introduce you to Matthew and Monica, and they can absolutely try to help answer the questions that we don't know how to answer.
Okay. Good.
But they will help with things like easements. We never had that before. We used to have to field that out. If we have a deal that needs an easement done or something, they're going to help us with that.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, and those kind of like the extra affidavits and stuff that we sometimes want to do. If you have a client that wants to do a transfer on death affidavit and file it after closing, they'll do that.
Wow.
So they're really looking forward to working with them a little bit more. And
wow, yeah, that's stuff that we haven't had access to before.
Go. Yeah, we have access to that now. So,
but still, you guys will help with power of attorneys and stuff too, right?
Absolutely.
So,
we'll still help with the power of attorneys.
Do you guys charge for that?
There is a charge if it's going to be like a recordable document.
Okay.
They have different charges for different things. I know like our deeds are $75. I think
that's always been $75.
Yeah, I think if we still do like the power of attorney that we've always used, it's still $75, like the previous administration would charge. But then if they do special affidavits, it is a little bit higher. It's like $150. It's still more comparable, a little bit. It's still lower pricing than
going to a regular attorney.
Yeah,
because mine's $250 an hour.
Yeah, it's $250 to walk through the door.
Yeah.
Hey, $250, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had one. We had one that we works for Stewart Title that we would refer out to, and I mean he was upwards of $350 and stuff for some of these more simple ones that they're charging more like $150 for.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know because I didn't know that there was a charge for the power of attorney, but that's good to know.
Yeah.
I always knew that there was a charge to do like a on-site, like going to another state for someone because you have to pay that other person to go. Yeah. But I did not know that we charged for the power of attorney. So good to know.
Nice.
Yeah.
But still reasonable.
Yeah, that is reasonable.
Yeah.
So the real question is, what's up?
Not much.
I'm sorry. Do you have closing statements about FinCEN? I should ask.
I think that was pretty much everything.
It?
I think we nailed that. We got a lot of that information out there. There's we're still learning. I've kind of became a little bit of a expert on it in the short period of time because I had the first couple of closings that happened in there.
Of course.
So I was like the guinea pig. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's just kind of we're learning right along with you guys.
It popped up. It was implemented.
It came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. Was implemented, and then it was taken away. And
and we try to start getting the information out there in the manager meetings and the meetings in the with the agents and stuff. Just try to prepare them. And I do feel like on our listing side with our Howard Hanna agents, they seem to be prepared. Now the buyer's agents I've had for some of the other companies come in, they don't seem as prepared. It's like they know something's happening, but they don't understand it, and they're just kind of hoping somebody else handles it.
Let's be fair. there's some of those places where they're not getting any guidance
Oh
whatsoever
yeah, absolutely.
on anything. So them knowing there's something coming is good.
I've always said that if you're going to be a real estate agent, you should probably spend a year in title first.
Yeah.
That would be, you'd make a super agent.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you understand.
That's like a
more
doctor who
aspects
was
of
a
it.
nurse before.
Right.
That's like the same thing. It's like
Right.
super doctors.
Right.
Super agent.
Yeah, it made a difference having you in the office too, because
I
we were
know.
able to just go and ask you questions like all the time. So
When you still do that, I mean, I always answer my phone.
You always
and,
answer my phone.
I know.
Text
It's
messages
different than
and-
taking 4 steps down the hallway. And,
It is.
But we miss having you here.
Well, I am closer now since I've moved to the Arlington office. That team was just getting to a point like they needed the additional help again. So we've kind of restructured it. It's like they're helping work on your files too in the background. I'm still your main
What I don't
contact.
know doesn't hurt me.
Exactly. What you don't know doesn't hurt you. But they're all, it's Kylie and Jennifer and Ruth and stuff. So Ruth does a lot of the order entry part of it.
Are they
and-
all in the Arlington office?
Yeah,
now?
we're all in the Arlington
Wow.
office. Yeah, we got our nice little our hub back together. I was with them over in Gahanna before they moved me over to Westerville to train for processing and kind of like I can now I do everything on the file. Which makes me a little bit more unique, which also makes me more targeted for helping cover people's vacations. So
let's call a spade a spade. It makes you a little bit more badass.
all right, there we go.
Well, you'll have to come to our meeting in May. It is May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, and it's also election day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you still running? Are you
I
running?
am going for Republican Central Committee again for Pickwick County
Okay.
for
Awesome.
Asheville West. Yeah, my neighbor down the street is running against me,
Ooh,
but
that's
Nice.
tough.
I mean, if I don't get the third term, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
No,
that's
that was
awesome.
really cool that you actually ran and got in. So that was
Yeah.
pretty neat. So
Yeah.
well,
We
that
were
was
rooting
cool.
for you.
And you're
Appreciate it.
really young to be doing that kind of stuff
Yeah,
and have that kind of mindset. So pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Speaking of young, no, I'm kidding. I'll kill you.
we'll keep it. We'll keep it young.
Oh my goodness.
I was trying to combat the conversation from earlier.
All right, the real question is, what's new? What exciting thing have you done recently? What are you looking forward to this year? Any new restaurants you want to recommend? Those are the big things.
Well, Tommy was talking about somewhere around here where it's like a sushi all-you-can-eat buffet type thing.
What?
And said that, maybe when Shannon says something about lunch again, like we need to go check this out.
Huh.
What
Sushi.com.
are your plans after this?
Well, we've got 2 more podcasts, but is it sushi.com?
Sushi.com's been there for a while. I didn't
I'm
know
not-
that it
I'm
had
not
all
sure.
you can eat.
I don't know.
There was, I would have to look into our
Text
making.
Tommy.
Yeah.
I know there's a sushi place. I didn't think it was in Dublin that was doing an all-you-can-eat thing. I didn't know it was a buffet though. But gosh, that sounds awesome.
I love sushi.
I do too. It's a problem.
It's been a while since I've had sushi, but I do like tuna.
Feast
Sorry.
Buffet and Carriage Place.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds awesome. I'm excited about that.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap that up because now we're all hungry. So thanks for joining, and make sure to like, follow, subscribe.
And hit that notification bell at Shannon Grimm Realtor and at 614 Real Estate Nerds. And thank you, Lindsay, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
We're always happy to see Lindsay.